Good morning. And Melissa, every time I do that, I think, good morning, Vietnam. I've got to not do that. What are y'all up to today? I just looked down to see Melissa say it's 48 there. Florida is cold, and I saw they're supposed to be getting ice in northern Florida across the southern, what is that, the west? East part of the U.S. Okay. I was going to get on a few minutes earlier, but somebody was making a racket in the kitchen. They've stopped. Good morning. Let's scroll up and see who's here. Melissa is in the house. And Deborah. Good morning, Deborah. Let's see. Deborah, it's -10 here with wind chills of -27. Do not go outside. Good morning, Fern. 7 degrees here. Feels like -7. Woo, we're all cold. Last time I looked at my phone, the temperature dropped a degree. See what it says now. Yeah, it's not going to give me that screen without looking for it. So it says 1 degree. 1 degree, and I didn't look at the wind chill because 1 degree is 1 degree no matter how you look at it. Good morning. Oh, I know it's going to be bright right now because it started itching my hair. Got it. Let's see. Good morning. Did I say good morning, Fern? Good morning. No, it's not supposed to be that cold in Florida. You should be hiding under a blanket, Deborah. An electric one with a heat pad underneath you. Man, I hate being cold. That house we had before was always cold. I know how you feel. Good afternoon, Lynn. I thought I saw Sylvia pop in, but I don't know. Maybe I just saw her name come up. Don't know what I'm doing. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Melissa, for the links. That's what I saw. Oh. My eyes have decided to start getting dry right now, so that's nice. Okay. Afternoon over in the UK. I've got my to talk about list. I'm going to run through it really fast, which means I'm going to talk a whole lot and say nothing. Let's see. Thank you for the new subscribers, first of all. I should lead with that instead of it's cold. But when it's 1 degree outside and colder other places. Oh, good morning. Good morning, my friend Dee Dee over at My Big Tidy Up. Reporting for duty. The Good Morning Vietnam did it, didn't it? That's what Dee Dee said. Reporting for duty. Let's see, what was I going to say? The Block of the Month with Melissa at Practically Creative and Sylvia over at UME FPP is out on the 8th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be looking for that to come out in February. We've already got January's. If you haven't checked that out, please check that out. Mom and Pop are on at 11 Eastern today, unless that's changed, because I know there's Saturday. Didn't their Saturday change? Subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll get a notification so you don't miss them. That's what I do. See, our friend Halo is on 3 p.m. Eastern Wednesday. And if you haven't been over on my community tab, about 3-4 posts ago, I put a link to a panel she has at her shop. The Amazing Grace panel. I haven't bought it, but I think everybody should know it's there if they want it. It's beautiful. There's also a link to another quilt place that has a quilt pattern for it and lots of free patterns. I know at least one other person in my chat downloaded approximately as many as I did to save for later, which was close to 100, if not. Quilts, bags, table runners, things like that. I don't have my, actually I do, but I fear leaving this tab. I was going to say I don't have my links up, or I'd do it. I do. I just fear leaving the tab. Let's see, so check out the community tab. On mine, you'll find polls. You'll find sales from other places. I'm not sponsored. I am not an affiliate. I am not even monetized here on YouTube. So I do it because I want to. That is the only reason. Let's see. Yep, goals. Oh, I'm missing things in chat. Just saying hi to Dee Dee. Just. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking when I said that, I thought, wait, that affect today too? Practically Creative says, are they on today? Is it she in California? And that's a perfectly good reason to go over and ring that bell and get the notifications so you'll know. Because she said Saturday, but I didn't write it down. She probably said Tuesday too. I don't remember. I remember Saturday she was talking about times and stuff like that. So Laura Lynn is Little Miss Sunshine. People call me that, but I'm serious. We could probably be sisters in that instance. Mom is in California. Practice Creative, I like that shirt. Good color for you. Thank you. It matches my eyes. Appreciate that. Totes, pillows, table runners, Deborah said. Yes, she's obviously been stalking the same sites I have. Good morning, Sherry. Sherry, my eyes blur at your last name. It does for everybody, so. Sherry Duman. I should get bifocals. I don't know bifocals. So, just gonna say Sherry. Good morning, Sherry. Melissa's gonna start a coffee. She says, everybody be good. I know how to use a wrench too. Just saying. D. Start the coffee pot, Melissa. We got this. Because you know I'm going to talk for a while so I can see. Deborah says, enabler you are. A little bit. I'm trying not to spend any money, but it's been very, very hard. Melissa snort laugh. Yes, we snort laugh sometimes. The quilt behind me, the Simply Vintage Christmas quilt, I've got one more block to do, and we're going to do that today. And it is when I get the first border on. I can't remember which size the first border is. I'm using the vintage quilt from 3 Yard Quilts. It's for panels. I'm using that. There's probably a link underneath the video. If you look directly under the video, it says more. If you got your chat up, you probably have to put the chat down. Be careful. People are known to lose their chats, their video, and everything when they do that during the live. Hey, and while you're there, click the thumbs up. What was I saying? Anyway, that one is going to measure 68 by 55 and a half. I have a, pardon me while I turn because I don't remember now. Their pattern calls for a 4 by 5. What do you call that? A block setup, 4 across, 5 down. I've done mine in a 6 by 7. Yeah, 6 across, 7 down setup. Because I don't know anybody besides babies, and I don't like to give baby blankets normally. Baby-sized baby blankets, because I don't want them to use it for a year or two and then grow out of it. I want them to keep it. I just made one the same size as this for a grandbaby, and she should be able to use that her entire life. I've got the same size for my husband. It fits. I'll tell you why I make him this size. It fits a 2-yard back. All my words, when I looked at my husband's quilt, just went, bleh. If you want to use Minky in a 2-yard cut, just get a 2-yard cut, the 60-inch Minky. So it's 60 by 72. Fits perfectly on these. There's little, if any, cutting. And all you do, you don't even have to use binding on it. All you do is you take that inch on the side or 2 inches on the side and you pull it over. There's no fraying on Minky, so you can leave that raw inch. But I usually just take it and tuck it underneath itself and sew that down. So easy. No binding, And you don't have to cut much minky if you get it practically right size. And if you want a thicker edging on it, you could roll it over a couple times. The bottom was actually longer than the sides, so my sides got rolled over once and the bottom got rolled over twice on that quilt, and it is so plush. They love it, but it doesn't. Wow, names just went gray. There's something going on with my eyes. I think it's that light up there. So that's why I do quilts the size I do. I don't know small people. And we're 6 foot up guys in the family. So me, I'm only 5'4.5". I lost an inch. Very upset. And then I lost 3 more inches when I couldn't wear heels anymore. Lynn, I think Laura Lynn is away for a couple of weeks, I think. Okay, she's got it for a couple of weeks then. Okay. I couldn't remember. I was getting bits and pieces of how I was sewing. So I lurk. Thank you guys. I appreciate you letting me know. Mom will be back sometime beginning of February, I think, Deborah says. Thank you very much. Still, go give them some channel love. They also put up pre-records with quick little projects. Coffee started. Found my worn rope, Melissa says. My big tidy up. Well, I've gained inches. Unfortunately, it's around the waist. You are not alone. Every time somebody loses weight, I say, I found it. Take it back. So the one behind me and the one I'm starting in February, it should be about the same size. Now I was guessing the block size when I was looking at 3-yard quilts because I really liked somebody else doing the math for me for these what I call the settings that go across, whoops, and up and down here. I really like that. And if you like 3-yard quilts and you have their books, you have their downloads, look through them. Whatever their focus fabric is, usually it's just some big piece of pretty fabric. They may put something, they may snowball a corner, they may put a frame around it or something. Whatever that piece of fabric is, you can insert a panel that size. And you can size up the panel as I have here. This panel started about 5 inches. It's now close to 10. So I can use it in the city lights. Yeah, calling it Show Me City Lights. The next quilt I'm doing. So any of theirs, and you can put them on point. I saw in the Quilt Builders card decks, they were talking about on point challenges. I thought, oh, I should have done that because I saw lots on point that I wanted to do at 3-yard quilts. The one I picked for February through May and maybe into June. I was trying to end it before the 4th of July because mine is patriotic theme and you know you want that done before that holiday. So I kind of planned a little bit this time. Yes, they do, Melissa. Melissa has got me derailed. Shame on you. Actually, still on topic. She says, oh, I saw that they have 5-yard quilts now too. And they do. And they have several that I want to make. I was trying very hard not to buy anything, but what I was going to say is they have downloadable ones. They have single patterns that are downloadable, and that's what I got for this because I can easily add columns, add rows, make a few more of the in-between blocks, and get it up to the size I want because I understand what they've done to do that with. But on their single versions, they don't have the sizes. It's just I think it's a lap quilt. It's just lap quilt size. If you get the book, you get them doing the math for you for the twin, queen, and king. I don't know if that's always true. I don't think they did it in the first 2 books. I don't remember. But they also have freebies like how to size up this and how to do that on their freebie page, which is great. And I'm trying to not do things that's going to cost you money. Because if it costs you money, it's going to cost me money. And I don't donate anymore, so my budget has went to, it better be important. Deborah says, I got 6 of their patterns. I got the, which book? No, I got the City Lights. I was going to buy the book and I decided to get the City Lights pattern by itself because it's only $5.99 US. Plus there's no shipping, of course. And it said there was no taxes. They're in Texas in the US. And I don't get anything for telling you about them. I just thought that this is a great idea for those random blocks. If you have random blocks and you can make them fit and something like this, do a sampler quilt. Call it a sampler quilt. My last quilt was too. I like doing them. I like the repetitiveness of their, I call it the setting pieces for the block. I like the repetitiveness of that. In fact, I've got the next one all set up. Hang on a second, I'll show you. The setting for the next one is all set up to sew. Of course, something went in the floor. I am live. I actually have like 5 or 6 things over here to sew. And that's going to go really fast. And so I like the chain piece and the repetitiveness of that in between the blocks, especially when, pardon me, that couldn't have been, you know, more graceful. So I like that, the chain piece and repetitiveness, because when I'm making blocks like, not that one, like this, it's not really repetitive. That one I was able to make with some chain piecing though, and all of mine are templates. I know November's isn't, and I'm thinking December's probably going to be straight up FPP because it's the easiest way for me to do it. They'll still have templates, but it's the easiest way for me to do it. And how do I explain this? I was going to use all scraps for my random blocks that I pick here on live and sew with you guys on live. I was going to use all the scraps, and then I was like, oh, I was going to do those other 2 that have the same colors that I want to use. So I need to get those done so I see how much scraps I have. And then I decided, because I was going to use a little bit more yardage, like fat quarters and fat eighths, stuff like that for those. And then I decided those are little pieces. I'm using scraps. And I still have scraps left over after putting the first one, starting the first one. So the second one I probably will too. So I may be stuck with yardage when I do these or the charm packs. But what I will do is when I use a charm pack, I'll cut the piece out that I need, and I'll put the rest of it in my scraps, and I'll use that during the random block too on something else. It may be next week's block, maybe something like that. So I am creating scraps, but trying to use them at the same time too. And I think that's working for me. When I pulled my blues out yesterday, I figured out I do not need to buy another blue fabric for probably a couple of years, probably longer than that. And I have, I don't know, can we see behind me? I can't see. Two years ago, and this chair's going to get caught because it always gets caught on that rug. 2 years ago, before I started my YouTube channel, Zurstar had a sale on wide backs, 3-yard wide backs. So they are 108s by, what is it, 36? A lot. 36, 72, brain stopped right there. I got these. I forgot I had them, although I showed them in a video recently and where I keep things. So I need to move that bin into my living room. I love these, and that's why I got them. But I will cut off like a 1 or 2 inch strip of a 108, and that thing will last forever with scraps. I didn't throw that on the floor, although that may be where it is. Oh, okay. Back in chat for a second. Melissa says, chain piecing is the way to go, I think, especially if your hands hurt. And that's the thing about the FPP. Yesterday, by the time I was done cutting all those pieces I showed you and putting, I think I can show it without showing it. I don't remember how many pieces were in this. All those have the first piece on it for FPP. All those are cut up. I was like, oh, my hands are done. Not only is my back done, my hands are done. Because I always forget to put my compression gloves on. I have them. I just don't put them on because it takes a while before they hurt doing things like that. And then it sneaks up on me. See, Deborah says, I have a book with 365 blocks. They are set up by months with a block for each day of the month. That's cool. That's a good way to do a block, a random block at a time. And I like these card builder decks and the book because I think I get to experience more blocks that way that I haven't made because I'm newer and I haven't made a bunch. So I really enjoy that. I enjoy it even though I'm doing the math because I don't want you to have to buy the box. Of course, if you want a specific size, you can buy the box and they can tell you what size because they have several different sizes they put them in. And if it's not the right size that you want on the box, you can always upsize, do the smaller one and whoops. Well, yeah, that panel, that is a lazy upsize. That panel, very calculated upsize. I love it. I love how that looks. You can always size them up. And there's several other ways. And I'm going to try to. I always go for the pineapple log cabin type. Put one here, one here, one here, one here. Then start around again. When I'm sizing up panels, if it's more than, a couple inches, that one I used a hexie for, and the template I used for that is free. I do have a video that's going to go up for that as soon as I get it edited. I have a lot of videos to put up, and I don't want to spam y'all. So I'm trying. If you see something go up 2 months from now, and you're like, oh, she showed that 2 months ago, that's why. Too much. What was I saying? Oh, but the next one I might do in a basic log cabin, just one side at a time, and keep going around. Now, when I did this hexagon, I started at the bottom with a color. The next round, because I was using 3 colors, it went red, gray, blue, red, gray, blue. I didn't want another red here. So I went over a block and I started there, red, gray, blue. And I kept doing that. I just went to the next section instead of starting where I start every section. You might understand that if you've done log cabin or pineapple blocks. But I enjoy doing that. And those are 1-inch strips. And those are all, this is before I realized that I had these in the back room. I was like, I am using these scraps. I don't have anything left of them. Then I remembered what I had in the back room like 2 days later. When did I do that? Maybe it was yesterday. I remember those were in the back room when I woke up and I was like, oh, goodness. No, I've got more of that. But it's just so easy to cut off one strip and work from one strip at a time. To do those, I like doing that. So that's what I do. I feel like that was a little more in depth than I intended to go. Let's see. Deborah has the book. For some reason, my eyes are not wanting to focus. They're going. Okay. Melissa asked Deborah if the book has quilt layouts too. The cards do have some layouts. They have instructions. They have the different sizes already figured out for you. I found when I did read the instructions, the very first 2, 3 I did, the instructions are very small and not the most efficient way, in my opinion, but they are skill builders. So they're trying to get you out of your comfort zone, I guess. Trying to recreate it without reading the directions does that. I'm good. And Melissa says Deborah says she's going to check. Lynn says she's making a churn block. I think we'll follow along. Cool. Practically Creative says log cabin blocks are great for chain piecing. They are. I go in depth a lot more than I want to. Well, Dee Dee says. Just see the rabbit hole, you jump in and follow it, and before you know it, you're having to cut that off and dig straight up to get out. For instance, I recently got the 1000 block book. Wow. Deborah's going to start her minions that Sylvia made for her in February, cutting her yardage into manageable pieces. And that's what I do. When I do I don't think I've got one handy. Let's see. I do. Like this template. If I'm going to cut this out, I'm going to measure the widest piece here to here. If this is the biggest template I have, and that's going to be red, I will measure here to here, and I'll cut me a strip just like 1/8 on either side, just bigger or just that size, and work from that size for all of them. It's way more manageable than trying to work from a piece of yardage that you're butchering. Honestly, you're butchering the yardage. I don't like that. I like to have a clean cut. So today's block, wait, was that all of everything on my list? Does anybody know where I put my list? Oh, I'm probably going to work. That's what I was going to work on today. The PJs. Can you get the PJs are underneath this up there? Going to work on those today. Told you about the patriotic theme, and I'm doing all those blocks will be 8-inch finished. You can put sashing, anything you want to around them to get up to size. If you need a 12-inch block, but you want to make this, you can make, oh, yeah, I'm going to do it 8 and 16 inches. You can add sashing if you don't know how to get the math done to make it bigger for you. The Infinity Chain Quilt. I have not started all my sewing. Of course, I was a little bit ahead. Yeah. I was a little bit ahead. So I figured I'd give it till next week. I threw something else. I mean, I didn't throw something else on the floor. I don't know how it got there. Nobody is up to be online. Kid had breakfast and went to bed, I'm pretty sure. Do I need to come in there and beat you? If you're making me spin, stop it. Okay, thank you. It wasn't us. It was my internet. It was not him. Yesterday, he was up all night playing games with friends, and yesterday he started at 8 o'clock in the morning. I thought he went to sleep. I know you're walking through, and I'm talking about you. No. What do you mean no? 8 o'clock in the morning, I start telling him what time it is because he's trying to get his sleep back to normal. And I was thinking he went to bed when I went to bed the night before. I need to get up. So I kept yelling things like, I'm going to come jump on your bed if you don't get up. And I tell him what time it was. I'm going to come in there and hug on you if you don't get up. I'll just go in there and look at you. And then my husband calls at his first break and he says, he was up all night playing with friends online. I was like, oops. No wonder he was so mad. I hope I'm not spinning anymore. Okay. So today is the two trees, and I just barely before the live got the stuff in there. These are the ones I've done for that. And this, actually, I'm going to put this somewhere else entirely because I'm not going to need it until next Christmas or want to use it, at least something like that. And I'm going to do this real quick. For the Show Me City Lights quilt that I'll be making, I'm going to pull from this deck because it's new. I just opened it this morning. And I have to use it. So they have different cards to create your own 2-block or sampler quilt. Quick and easy block tool series, 4x4 cards, color coordinated. And they have, I think this is 40. To the top of the box say 40 new blocks and new layouts. And I gotta tell you, honestly, the blocks aren't all that new. They've been done before. But these are all tips and trick cards for them. How to use the block charts. Using your quilt builder cards, balanced layout grid. The king layout, it's just got different layouts in here. On point challenge. I'm going to do that. I need to put that on my to-do list. Mixing blocks and quilts. It even shows you some little diagrams about how to align when you're putting angled triangles for corners and stuff. Yardage and square fabric figuring. So it's got all that stuff. So let's pick one out of this real quick because I've been talking for a half hour. Okay. I'm going to the front because I'm just, oh, I like that one. Whoops. This is the, I've seen this everywhere. They're calling it the weather vane. The weather vane. I'm trying to see a weather vane. I see a flower. I think I've always seen a flower. Okay, they're calling it the weather vane. That's what we're going to do. I haven't decided. Maybe next week. Next week I may just sew on those double wedding rings and we hang out for a little while. I haven't decided. So either we're going to do this next week or sew on the wedges for the double wedding ring. Where did I leave off? Melissa says, I thought about you, Dee Dee. I sent hubby for a couple saucepans at the store. He came home in a whole new beautiful cookware set. Melissa knows he's going to do that. Well, she sends him somewhere. She says, today is going to be spent editing my pots and pans. I went through mine last week and decided there's nothing I want to let go of. I don't have a lot. I did that a long time ago. Got it down to what I could handle. Enjoy sewing, not a fan of cutting. Fern says, Fern, those are two different things in my opinion. I like cutting. I like the cutting and I like the chain sewing. FPP gives me the cutting, and there's a lot of it. And regular pieces give me this, piecing gives me the sewing. But FPP, if it's a symmetrical or one block that's just turned 4 ways, which I'm pretty sure, except for one, all the ones I'm doing for the block of the month are, it's one block so you can chain piece them all from templates. Which I don't know why people don't talk about that more. Templates for FPP, because you can use the templates to get the exact size you need for the FPP. Or, like if you've got an easy one like I've done, you can use the templates alone and just do right sides together like you would any other block. And chain piece, the ones I've done. So. Deborah says, I would call it on target. All right. We are doing flying geese, and I should have stopped talking 15, 20 minutes ago because I know flying geese take me forever. I am using my flying geese FPP paper. I have cut this. You can see the shadows. So the outline, oh, you could have been go. There you go. You can see the outline of the shadows. I put this on a piece of fabric. No, actually what I did is I used the corner of my, I used this corner, and when I saw what a 1/4 inch was from that line, I took my chalk pen and I drew a line right here, and then I just put it on top of my fabric and I cut all them that size. Better leave that open. Let's see, I've got 1, 2, and we're gonna go watch what I'm doing, so close your eyes. Even moving you. Don't look at my deck that's clearly never going to get fixed. Okay. And I don't want to move you too much because I'm going to have to put you back. Okay. 1, 2. Look at my flying geese. 1, 2. And I can chain piece these. There are 6 of them. I had these 5-inch squares that I wanted to use for him. I could cut them down to make them fit, or I can just, okay, that's got the 1/4 inch. This already has the 1/4 inch included in the FPP here, and this is from Fat Quarter Shop. There's probably a link underneath. There is links for low waist flying geese and 4 at a time flying geese if you prefer that. That is not how I made the cuts for it though. So I'm going to line up that edge on this side because that's number 2. And then just turn my machine on. I don't know how many of you find it helpful to have your machine on. Little stitch, 1.6, 1.5. Deborah hates flying geese. And stop at the intersection, back stitch. So I can do 3 before I have to cut off or do 3 more. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but I don't know what. Like I'm putting my fabric in the wrong spot. I'll check that first one. I don't know why I've got that feeling, but usually it's because I've done something wrong. Push that back. No, that's fine. Then all you have to do is cut off the extra. Yesterday, I kept finding that the scraps I used, I was getting them. I had nicks in them from doing it like this. I'm not just following it straight through. I had nicks and I'd get it ready to go. And I was like, oh, that's got a nick in it. I have to do something else. Pardon me, I need a drink. I spoke too much. Did you see my new cup? I don't have to use my husband's anymore. Amazon. I should get a loop. I'm having that trouble with that glue. The purple glue, I've seen people use it and it works, but this purple glue is not working for me. You got to put a ton on and it doesn't stay on. I don't know if anybody else had that problem with the purple school glue. The white one works fine. Pretty side of the fabric away from the paper. Did I put that on there? I did. Pretty sides of the fabric together. And I'm going to use this piece. Covers the whole thing, and I'm not getting where I chipped into that. I'm not going to sew it that way or that way. Get it together. Good afternoon, Sylvia. No, you're not like. That is not right. It's okay. Show you what I just did. It's okay because it's 3 pieces and then I can fix it. So. I'm going to get through it. Finger press. You should be pressing in between. It makes a difference. The patriotic panel I did, I pressed in between. Those 1-inch pieces really need to be pressed. And because I can't follow 1, 2, 3 order, literally, I can't. I was doing so good for, what, 2? I put 3 on first. But that's okay because when I do 2, I'm just going to go all the way up. I just shouldn't do that. Sylvia said, sorry I'm late. And Melissa says, you're not late, Sylvia. Just making an entrance. Yes. Hi, have you met Sylvia? She's at You and Me FPP. She teaches FPP. If you have problems, if you need help, if you want a pattern made from a picture that is FPP, Sylvia is your woman. And she likes to make a grand entrance because she just wants the attention. Every time. And that would be number 3. So I'm going to put it on number 2. I'm lining my edges up, my raw edges of fabric. I've got my fabric right sides together. Ooh. Number 2. I'm going to thank my moderators, everyone in chat now for coming. That way I don't forget. If I forget later, at least I've done it. Thank you guys for coming. It helps so much. It helps keep the chat going, and it helps me get things done so I don't have to sit and watch it chat. And by the way, exclamation, do not do it. Melissa, Sylvia, all of you. Because then I'm going to be staring at the screen again. I'm just going to sew on that line and stop at the intersection. If you do exclamation, COLEEN. Okay, go ahead. Somebody's fingers are itching. I can hear them from here. It doesn't matter if it's capitalized, no spaces. It will get my attention. It puts my name in orange so I can see it, so you don't have to yell. And you can use it on any device, because there's people that can't do the @ sign and then the name on devices. So exclamation, I set it up so you can do exclamation with my name, and it'll get my attention. Are we freezing still? Stop freezing. Not the camera, the actual outside. They've been putting snow in and taking snow out of our forecast for a few days now. Get that a good press, then turn it over and cut off the extra. Now, Fat Quarter Shop, actually I cut these down for them because they not only give you the 1/4 inch, they add to it and have a dotted line outside of it. I think that wastes fabric most of the time for me. There are times that I will do it, but I think most of the time that's a waste of fabric. So I cut them down to the line. I didn't feel like it cut it. I cut that one too much. In this bag, I'm going to do a good finger press. Besides that, if you use your iron on glue, it sticks a little bit better to your fabric. Sometimes in a way that you can't get it off very easily. Done that many a time. Not a fan, but just got to do it sometimes. Oh, Halo has the 5-yard, fabulous 5-yard. Anybody see what I just did? I did not cut myself. It did not touch me. It just freaked me out a little bit. I get further up on my cutting mat. That was about to be a stupid thing. Put these over here so I have a little more room here. Yes, sometimes it does take me a while to pick up on seeing my name. And if the chat is scrolling so quick that it goes by before I've seen it, one of my moderators can tag me, or you can try tagging me again. I understand my chat's usually not that fast because we're not a big family here. Did I put that away without closing it? Okay. There's a reason my hand is back here away from this edge. Because when I did that earlier, it got way too close to my hand. Actually, it touched my hand. Luckily, the blade did not cut me. That was stupid. And I think most times cutting yourself is something that, you know, you're like, I knew better. Let's not lose any fingers today. Or tomorrow. Hey, that's a good goal for the year. Let's not lose any fingers. Okay, now the second, number 3. So we got 1, 2, and 3 is going to go here. I think that's a good choice. This is Melissa. I gave Melissa a heart attack. She's going, no. I'm just sewing off on this one. Right sides together. Side does not work. Cut edges together. Yes. Oh, I just about chopped into my hand. It hit right there. Wow. Risky business being a quilter. Irresponsible quilter. Should have done that one from the other direction. That's okay. And you see, I started out with 3 5-inch squares of these. You'll see how far they go because I wasn't sure. I've got more whites in back of me though if I need them. Sherry, I cut my fingertip off last summer. I'll never do that. Well, I hope that's something you only do once. Oh, so she'll never do that again. I think that's good. I was pulling it back to see if it was going to cover that entire piece of paper. It should. I can't remember if it was after I got on YouTube or right before I got on YouTube. People had been saying the needle impaled their finger. It went into their finger. And I was like, how do you get the needle to do that? How do you get that needle? It looks pretty well taken care of right there. And then I put one through the side of my pinky because I was hoping the fabric go through when I should have probably changed a needle or something. I didn't know. That did not feel good. And what's worse is when you're new and you're still getting used to that pedal, you do that and you lose control of is the pedal supposed to be down? Is the pedal supposed to be up? What am I doing? Which way do I turn the knob? And I'm just going, no, 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 no. So nobody knows that I'm in here hurting myself. Again, put those up there so I have room. You are not supposed to cut towards yourself, just for the record. You're also not supposed to use sandals to use power tools in the garage or anywhere else, but you know. Have you met socks and sandals? That would be my husband. Perfect flying geese. All you got to do is follow the line, and that is why we like FPP. You see how little fabric I'm using? I was being lazy because normally I would have cut these triangles out ahead of time. Figure out what size square I needed to cut the triangles from and just did a crisscross cut. Honestly, until I hurt my back yesterday and I was stuck in the chair, I didn't know if I had this set up for today or not. So when I got up this morning, the first thing I did was start putting numbers in. 2 done. Whoops, need that one. Sherry, did they reattach or just stitch? Ooh, free motion quilting and got distracted for me. Oh, Melissa said. I do have a fear of cutting myself, so I'm usually a lot more aware than right then. And my hands shake when I do this. My hands start shaking too bad. So I like putting it at the side of my table, and I grab the table. It gives me a better grip, keeps my hands and the ruler from moving on me. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but I found out that I had that problem before I learned to actually sew. I was making masks, trying to learn that. And I found that grabbing that desk helped me keep steady and kept my fingers out of the way. It's not quarter of an inch. I hear Melissa in my head every time I have a rotary cutter in my hand. Close it. Close it. Close it. Close it. I need to get new blades for this one. I think I went through all the blades I bought. Okay, yes, I had to use the finger bandage just like you. Ugh. And Melissa, Melissa, Sherry, Amazon has some really cool silicone finger bandages that wrap around the end. I used those forever, it felt like. Lynn must have had something go wrong with her machine, even when she's using the 1/4 inch foot on her machine. Add a tiny bit of outside fabric to the edge. Got some of those little dot things that stick into the rulers to stop them from sliding. See, I have those. They don't always work. They usually work pretty good, but you can see sometimes you can still get them to slide if you're aggressive enough, and we all know I am. But a small weight work for you to keep the ruler from moving. I've tried the small weight. I don't know if you were talking to me. Amazon. There is ruler grips. They probably have them on Amazon because when you're in the UK, Amazon's probably a better choice. I got mine from Missouri Star, and you can look underneath the video if you're local, but I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. When I got them, they were on sale, as most things when I get them. Okay. Because I am frugal. Why did I cut that one so weird? If I find something I like, I will look at every shop I can find to see which one has the best deal. Unless it's a small business, and I really just would rather give them money than send it to a big company, and that is why I shop at our small businesses online, like Quilting with Stephanie Stitches and Halo Inspired. And there's more at Happy Stitch or something like that. That's a new shop that I found. Right sides together. These one went faster had I not been talking so much. Was that what I was supposed to see? trick with these is when you're lining this corner up over here, see I've got the straight line right here. As long as that is at the bottom of your paper, it's good. Got the fabric over here, you got your straight line here, it's good. Turn it this way so it's easier to chain sew. Wow, I may have enough of this, plus able to get my other fabric out of it. If I pick a difficult card, when I'm picking random cards, if I pick one that I know is going to take me more than the hour, hour and a half, I try not to go over. I try not to go over an hour and a half, but you know, I shut up. I will do half of it before and post the video. That way you can get a head start and see it. I think it's a better view when I've got the camera right here. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think it is. I think I was asked one time what my favorite thing was, if I had a favorite tool or notion. And I was thinking this the other day when I was using that generic strip ruler, which I'm not positive is accurate, but it's working so far. I checked once, so I think it was me. I don't think it's the ruler. I think that that's what would be my favorite thing. I think that saves time, and even though it costs a little bit more, I think it is well worth it. The Creative Grids one, really, I think the Creative Grids one maybe, I want to say $10 more, but I haven't looked. But when you don't have the $10 more, you know, you settle for what you got. See that? That fits. And I like it. It is such a huge time saver. I cut all those fabrics that I showed you earlier that I have ready to sew in no time. Had somebody been you know, aggressively telling me you need one of these, it saves your shoulders, it saves time, it saves your back. Pardon me. I would have got one right off the bat. I would have saved and got one. Colleen, I had to send Wayne for the saucepans because I ordered one based on price and it was like a sardine can. Oh, I've done that. Not on saucepans, but other stuff. And the smaller strip ruler, I think it's $12. Amazon only had a couple left that I saw. The generic one, probably well worth it too. Great Creative Grids. I know they're popular, and I don't want to say anything negative because I don't use them because they do cost more. Did you know that they have if you're selling Creative Grids, you can never have them on sale for under a certain price, and they tell you specifically you can't put these on sale. So if you see Creative Grids on sale, they had them overpriced in the first place. Well overpriced, because Creative Grids doesn't allow that. And while I can understand as a company why, it's quality that they're selling. I haven't tried them, so I don't know, but the people I know that have are very into their Creative Grids. So I started with 3 5-inch squares. I did all 6 of my flying geese. Next piece is, I threw that away, didn't I? I threw my numbers away, but the next piece was, and there's 3 here and 3 here. I just want to point out, do you see how fussy cutted those? I had one of the front of the truck that I cut just too small. I don't know what I was going to say. Let's see. We have to do this math really fast again. Okay, it's 2 inches. I want it 1 inch, so it's going to be half plus half is 1. Okay, this may not be what I put on the pattern, but I don't have it in front of me. So, and then to get that up to 3.5 inches, we need 1.5 by 2. That's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1.5 by 2. If the measurements are a little bit different in the PDF, it's because I have veered off track. But you see how I'm doing? I use those for that, but now I'm using my scraps. 2 inches by 1.5. That's what I'm looking for. There it is. Now we've got this to put on either side of those. I'll set those right there for a minute. Oh, no, I should have got the math for that one. So I know I'm not going to like it. Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning, and anyone else I may have missed. And you know, if you're lurking, good for you. I do that quite a bit. I understand why other YouTubers do it. Never get anything done if you stay in chat all day. I understand. Okay, now the upper corner, I don't even have my picture. Upper corner, I needed a half of 3 is 1.5. So 3 inches. All right, I give up. I'm going to find the, I'm going to get the pattern up. Hopefully I don't lose you guys. That is not the right one. Pardon me while I get the pattern that I just put up this morning. Okay, 1 inch and 2 inch brown pat. I got that. 1.25 by 2 inch. I need 2. And then actually I need 3. 1.25 by 2 inches. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, we're having breakfast. 3 1.25 by 2 inches. Actually, I'm going to cut 2 because I'm pretty sure I can get something that I need out of that. 1.25 by 2 inches. Things take me longer because this is how I do it. I want to use my scraps, and I will. That's too little. That's too little. 2 by 1.25. So it does take longer to use your scraps, but I find it very satisfying. So now I am getting my money's worth and then some. Okay. And then this one, pardon me, I didn't look at that. I should have. I wouldn't have remembered had I. This one is 2 by 1.25. Why did I put the tree picture up? I could have figured it out. 2 by 1.25. And I think I want it right there. I'm not going to be that picky. Use this one. Sylvia's done a lot of knitting lately too. She's so fast. I've knitted socks. It took me forever. Okay. Now what I need for the upper corner is to make a 1 1/4 HST, right? Okay. So this is 1 1/4. I'm going to sew across right here. I'm pretending like this is that 1 1/4 inch square. That will go there, I hope. Okay. This is not, my brain is just going, man, and a boo-boo. It's like it's playing keep away. Here. I don't need the instructions. I need to remember what it looks like. She's been on that one four-ply sock since Friday. That's not fast, but it's pretty fast. Exactly. And you're using the teeny tiny, what is that wire called that connects them? It's got a wire like this big on the end of the needles. I refuse to use those. I wouldn't even, I bought an interchangeable knitting set. Not a big fan of it because you're constantly having to stop and screw those back in. But it's the only reason I have a wire that long, that short. Okay, this is what I was going for. I'll do that. And then we'll take one and put it across. Give me a second to remember how I planned this. Okay. Okay, that's right. Just going to do corner to corner. Go here so I can see it better. This is a sew and flip. Means after you sew it, you flip it over and cut off the extra. Cut off the extra here. That is too small for me to save. And then I'll square this up using that. I'm really questioning how I decided to do this. I'm on the wrong side, aren't I? No, it goes like this. Okay. And then I'm going to take a larger piece. The size is in there, and I'm going to just go where, I don't know where I put it. Trying to remember how I did that. Okay. Gonna do the sew and flip on the other side. That is not how I wrote it, but that's what I'm gonna do. Which is flying geese. Flying by the seat of our pants. And I have a small piece that's going to work. Corner to corner. You can move that up because corner to corner wasn't quite right. Because you have to have your seam allowance now. I have to add to that pattern because suddenly I'm thinking what I thought this morning is not the best. And even if this is wrong, you know I'm going to do it anyway. That came off short, so I'm going to lose that tip. That's a me problem. Flying geese. 1 1/4. Yes, Melissa has crocheted footies from Miss Tracy Albert. By the way, I don't know if I've already put it up or if I'm going to put it up, but my husband was teasing me when I was making, it's my next block of the month. My husband was teasing me when I was making that about moving to the place. And then he said they don't want me. And then he was being He was teasing me. It may not sound like teasing when that comes out, but he was teasing me. He was joking. So if you think that it's rude, he really wasn't trying to be. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of. Oh, I am using scraps. This is what I do. It's a challenge. I like it. It's like a puzzle. And before I was sewing, I was doing a ton of puzzles. Actually, I think when I was at my mom's, I was coming home and just sitting in my chair and being a vegetable trying to do puzzles, and I could tell how tired I was by how quickly I could do the puzzle. Jigsaw puzzle. This was not how I was going to do it. I need to rewrite the pattern because this works just fine. I lost the tip. We're not talking about it. It needs to be 2.5. No, it needs to be 2. I was looking at the 2.5. When I make patterns, they are free unless they are complicated FPP, and then that's all Sylvia. I am doing the free for the block of the month, but then it's going to go to Sylvia as paid. And like I said, if you have a picture you want made into FPP, if you had a picture like this and wanted to do it FPP, all you'd have to do is email Sylvia the picture and she could turn it. If you had any picture, she's done dogs from pictures, live dogs. I lost my tip there because I didn't make that right. We're ignoring it. I'm showing you because things aren't always just as you plan. Okay, all these are scraps. Let's go with Christmas scraps. Need to sew this together. The trunk. One of the white pieces, and it tells which ones go there. And you don't even have to subscribe to get the patterns when I share them. I just share them. I saw someone once say that they had no way to put patterns up for free. So you have to subscribe. You have to go comment on their Facebook page, email them, and they will email you the pattern. If you see somebody say that, you need to tell them to get good. That is sketchy as all get out. Am I wrong, my friends in chat? I don't know if you can. I use Google Drive. I'm sure Mac has something equivalent to it. They could even, I'm sure they have some kind of word thingy too that they can print out. Okay, we're getting there. But that just hit me as sketchy. I was subscribed to him and I unsubscribed because I don't know. I think one of the reasons people will click on my links is because they're trustworthy. I have no interest in sending marketing things their way or anything else. I'm not saying I'm stupid, but I'm not always the brightest bulb, and I figured it out. So, Colleen, yes, my dear, I'm doing a block of the month at Quilt Club. Sylvia says I found it on Thrift Books. I don't know what we found, but it has to be good. I can't use 100% wool. Allergic, Deborah says. Sylvia, please don't cut towards you with the cutter. You're scaring the poo out of us. You mean like this? Deborah says she did my Minions pattern. And Sylvia says, thanks. It was close, but I did that. It was not open at all. And I wasn't touching myself. It looked like I was touching myself from there, but I wasn't touching myself. Okay. Fair enough. I don't want to scare people. I do want to scare Sylvia just a little bit now. Because I'm ornery like that, but okay. All right. We're actually done with the cutter. Done with the cutter. We'll even put it in its timeout drawer. Not even to be seen. Sylvia says, nope, I have patterns up for free using Google Drive too. Okay, now we're just going to start putting these together, which means one on top to the one on the bottom. So a 1/4 inch here, 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 here. I'll have to do better next week. I'm talking too much. I would take the papers off at this point, because I don't like picking them out of the seam allowance, but I'm in a hurry and that's fiddly. Cut that one off good enough. See if I can do it with these. No, too low. Is that better? All right. It doesn't matter which one I had on the bottom. I don't care. I just want to make sure that I'm putting them this way, right? There are links to my moderators and my friends. I cut all of these just a little bit big, which would be fine, except for I don't want them big right now. What was I saying? There are links to my moderators below every video, sometimes up in the cards in these videos over here. That's where the card is. And always in the chat, whether it's a pre-record, not a pre-record, premiere, or a live. And you could do these, I'm just doing them in Christmas fabric because it fits what I'm doing, but you could do these trees in just any fabric you want to and make all kinds of stuff. Here's my top. Here's my middle. Not my middle, my bottom. That's my top. So first we're going to go over here to the top. Press that back real quick. Let it stay. And for the bottom. Now put those together like so. There's a creator, Melissa says, there's a creator who does giveaways and requires that one sends them your address, email, phone number in order to enter. I'm no longer sub to them. Yeah, there's companies who will pay to get you to do that stuff for them so they can put them on marketing lists, I guess. Not a fan. That's the bottom of our tree. And that's the top of our tree. And it's going together. I never thought about it until I heard that from my friend. I didn't know that was a thing. I am very anti-spam. My 1/4 inch was sketchy, but that's okay. I can trim it. And now we have, press these back. Go for the bottom. Fine. Go to the bottom. Just pick a side. And then we have this one. And so now we're going to take these. And we'll have nesting seams over here. My top was not trimmed well, probably because I was tormenting people. Shame on me. I'll have nesting seams, which means where I push this one this way and I push that one that way, they will go together. Nest, smooch. You should pin there. I usually do. The other one needs to be, oh, that one can be flipped. almost caught that. I think my bottom one was a little bit short. Sylvia says she's not subbed anyone who wants that sort of thing yet. My lower one was a little bit short. I do that. If it's the right size, we're going to go with it. I think it's the right size. That may be a bit much, but I think I need to trim it down. I only ever ask for email to be sent me via Messenger or my email, then communicate with them that way. Yeah. Well, and if you want to buy a pattern, that is necessary. I still hold all of my comments. It helps weed out trolls. May not be able to do that someday, but right now I can do that. And I still have a timeout for being subscribed before you can talk in my live chats. Where did my big ruler go? Over here, so I didn't have to bend over. I was thinking about something today. Normally I would take these papers off, spray it, and then square it up, which I should because this is just a little bit short right there, but otherwise it's not too bad. So it would be 6.5 inches squared. Let's see, 6.5 is right. I need to square this up. This does need to be squared up. I'm not going to do that until I get the papers off, and I'm not going to sit here for 20 minutes to take the papers off because I am slow. By the way, did you guys see what I got for Christmas? It's a rainbow. I have spoons like this now. Long spoons, though. I got them long enough so I could stir my coffee. It was on sale. And that is the 2 Christmas tree blocks, somewhat improv because I make bad decisions. But, oh, nope, can't do that right now. Where did I put them? I made the last 2 settings over the weekend for this. I don't know where I put them. I did not put the... They are not in the Christmas drawer. That's all right. Okay. Oh, the lighting went to heck while we were watching. So that is the two Christmas tree block, I believe is what it's called, in the Quilt Builders card deck Christmas edition. Now, I've been doing this basically since I started my YouTube channel and figured out that's what I want to do. My videos go back to 2022, July of 2022. So my actual anniversary for putting videos up, I think, was next month. I may still have those up. I don't remember. But anyway, so 2, 3, 4, oh, not 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 years. 3 years I've been doing those. I haven't ran out yet. Quit saying that. You don't make bad decisions. Oh, thank you. Mistakes. Sometimes I make mistakes. Somebody told me one time there was no such thing as I think it was a mistake. And I never was able to wrap my head around that. I think it was, they had a very abusive father. I think that's something they got, or stepfather. I think that's something they got from their stepfather because that has never, that's never clicked why that would make sense to me. I know, it's weird. Yay, done, done, done. And I would have been done 30 minutes ago had I shut up and just sewed. Exactly. Deborah says, we all make mistakes sometimes another. Exactly. And that's why I was like, I heard that growing up. There's no such thing as a mistake. And when you hear that growing up and then you never understood it and then you get older and you realize, even though they were an adult saying that, they were wrong. I like it. And the fussy cut. Oops, other side. All those little fussy cut. I didn't particularly like this fabric. I thought I did when I got it. And then I was like, I don't know. But then when I had to make this, I was like, oh, I could fussy cut those. I got it for the truck, let's be honest. I got it because there was a truck on it, like a 50s. I think that's like a 50s truck that was on it. That's why I got it. I'm a sucker for 50s and 60s. You don't get smart by never making mistakes. That's true. I learn more from my mistakes than I do when I do things right. A lot more. And you'll see that's why I leave them in my videos too. When I have mistakes in my videos, it's like, okay, I messed up. But hopefully I don't do that again. Sometimes it takes a few times before I don't do that again. And sometimes that never works. But at least I know that I'm going to do it. I'll try to do it right. And if it goes wrong, I'll try to do it better next time. And it's fine. Beautiful Fern says, Deborah says, so pretty. Sylvia says, gorgeous. Great quote. Melissa said, you can't be old and wise if you were never young and foolish. So true. So true. Oh, I was young and stupid. That's what I was. That's what I said. I said, we were all young and stupid at some point. And if you weren't, we don't want to hear from you. You're not our people. You got this. Dee Dee says there are good mistakes and bad mistakes. If you learn something from it, it's a good mistake. Yes, not stupid, just foolish, Sylvia says. Yes, foolish is a better word. It really is. I said something stupid. I said something in one of my videos. I was like, well, that was stupid. And I tell my husband and the kids, if your last response to somebody in a discussion is whatever, oh, okay, you're stupid. You've lost. When you resort to calling someone stupid for having a different opinion than yours, you are not the winner of that conversation. Melissa says, Lynn, I'm always joking. I need a turban and a crystal ball. I think she has one. I think she hides it. But it's because I made all the mistakes. Yeah, I still make all the mistakes. I beat myself up less for them, though. Okay, well, we're going to wrap it up because I've kept y'all here too long, and I apologize for that. My back didn't want me to do that, but, you know, I'm stubborn. And I'll get to sit over there in my recliner the rest of the day. There was something, oh, I'll probably do those PJs tonight. I have to do a buttonhole in them. They have 2 buttonholes where the drawstring goes in. I've never done a buttonhole. I know this machine. Pretty sure that's what these are right here are. Buttonholes. So I need to get a practice piece and try it with that. I'm still not sure about that waistband thing. The casing for the waist, I think I got it right because you guys helped, and thank you for that. Because I look at the pattern, it's like gibberish. I went through this whole conversation with top chat on and not live chat. Shame on me. Sylvia's in her recliner knitting, and I can get a lot done sitting over there in my recliner. That way I can take breaks as needed. It's not the most visually pleasing setup I have for sewing in my living room, or my husband has for gaming. He has degenerative discs in his neck, so I set up one recliner, and I'm on my computer or I'm doing my sewing, and he sets up the other recliner and he does his gaming or searching Audible for new books. And it works really well. I was very depressed not having a hobby that I could do because I couldn't manage to. I don't like what appears to me to be clutter in my line of sight when I'm doing things. I have to fix it. I have to fix it. And when you make a bunch of clutter with something and your brain is telling you, no, no, this is wrong. You have to fix it. This is wrong. You have to fix it. It's very stressful. But this little table right here, most of the time, most of the time, I will keep my clutter there on the table or underneath the table. And I've got different boxes and stuff that's helping me keep what I'm working on organized. So that works great for me. I couldn't believe that I cut fabric all day yesterday. My shoulders don't hurt. That, what I think is a bone spur or something in my back, that's what got me last night. And my neck, it's been giving me headaches, but I digress a lot. Everybody say bye. I want to give them time and, talk through it. Oh, Deborah, stop that. My clothes have been having a slumber party in the dryer for 2 days. I got cutting yesterday and planning, and that's where they stayed. They may stay there today. We don't have things that are going to wrinkle too bad, yeah, it's like jammy bottoms and stuff like that. And frankly, if their shirts wrinkle, they can iron them. I ain't buy something that doesn't wrinkle so easy. That's what I do. I'm not a good person. Yeah, my clothes have been having a slumber party for 2 days now. I should take care of that. I need to put it on my to-do list. If I put it on the to-do list, I'll remember to do it. Anyway, you take care. Hope you can be productive. If you can't, give yourself grace. We can't always do what we want to do. It sucks, but that's just how life is sometimes. My mom's always saying life's not fair. Never say that to me. I don't want to hear it. Be the light you hope to see in others and enjoy your week. Do something nice.